You probably know him as Agent Zero. You might know him as Hibachi. You might know him for hanging 60 on the Lakers with Kobe. You also might not know he's the greatest Cuban basketball player of all time. Mi hermano. Mi gente. Ladies and gentlemen, Gilbert Arenas, everybody.
How you guys doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, look, we obviously followed you for years, a brilliant NBA career. Obviously, watch you regularly. Know Chill Gil, you're part of the Fubo family. And then it wasn't until just a couple minutes before this interview, I'm like, let me go on Wikipedia, see what does the Wikipedia profile for Gilbert Arenas say. And it says that you are Cuban. Your
yes.
great grandfather, Cuban. Alexis is Cuban. We had all these questions we were gonna ask you. We're like, throw it all out. Let's talk about our Cuban hermano, Gilbert Arenas.
Yes, I'm from Tampa, Florida. So most of my family is from the Tampa, Miami area. And my dad played for the Hurricanes, and he wasn't that good, so he decided he wanted to be an actor. You know, when your first talent is gone, you try to go to your second one, and the second one wasn't that good either, and he had to rely on me.
There you go. Which, by the way, Tampa is where the Cuban sandwich was invented. This all makes sense. This whole conspiracy theory is starting to make sense. In fact, I got a question because when I looked it up, I saw that one of your premium sneakers, probably the sneaker you're most known for in your career, is the Light Switch, and there was a Cuban version of it. But yeah. the reason I want to bring up Cuban, the Light Switch, I'm just going to mention Cuba every third word now from this whole thing. Which we'll call it. When is that shoe going to get retroed? When are we going to see the retro Light Switch come back? Because you had some fire Johns.
Actually, we're in the works of it. It was supposed to be like the end of this year, but I think it's going to be the beginning of next year. But you know, like with any celebrity that gets in trouble, there's always this group that just they do not follow basketball. They have nothing to do with sales, but we want to protest. Okay, you gotta have the shoes on.
So we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait a little bit.
So we have to wait until probably January until someone else gets in trouble. That's
just move it off you.
The spotlight is off for you a little bit. Okay,
I mean, it's been 2017. You guys still remember that? Jesus Christ!
You know, so look, as comedians, it'd be impossible for us to at least not talk a little bit about it. I mean, you've talked about this very publicly ad nauseum. Obviously, it's an issue that it is in your past. The one thing that we're curious about, as comics, you must have heard a lot of jokes about what happened with you, obviously in the locker room, the whole situation. What was the best roast that you heard about that you can remember, that you were able to laugh at it?
You know, the funny part is I was laughing at the beginning. Because it was funny because I'm like a comedian. It was funny to me. All of it is funny. So when I read the paper, it was like a Wild Wild West scene from a while. I'm like, Wild West scene? What cameras are you looking for? I wasn't even in there. You just seen that little gun he pulled out. I was like, from Harlem's Night. I don't know what he was going to do with that. I thought it was like a lighter. Is that a lighter? So it was actually funny, and I think that was the problem because I didn't take it serious.
Right.
You know, and I think that was the biggest thing. You know, when you get in trouble, there's something you're supposed to act accordingly.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't, because in my defense, what did I really do? He said he was going to do something. I want to see. I want to see if he got the cojones. If not, off. You know what I mean? So that was it. He said he was going to do it. I want to see.
All right.
But
you know, I'll tell you my favorite meme or roast joke that I saw was, I don't know if you've seen this in action movies. There's always the scene where they have to go get guns and they have that guy that has the secret wall that opens up and all the guns are framed on the wall perfectly. It was a picture of that and it said Gilbert Arenas getting ready for a basketball game.
That's a good one.
That to me was my favorite one.
I don't know if it's real or not, but I always see like that child playing video games, and then there's like this that bubble. It wasn't the bubble head. What is the Dan Gilbert owns the company. It's like that big sticker.
Fathead.
Fathead.
The fathead has a gun. It has me with a gun in my hand. And I keep trying to figure, is that a real one? I want it. I really want it.
You're like, did my agent co-sign this?
Oh my God. So obviously, look, Ding, you obviously turned things around and taking your life a little bit more seriously since then, without a doubt. But let's talk a little bit about No Chill Gil and your show and being on Fubo Sports Network. It is, when we started on Fubo Sports Network, obviously it is a, as comics, it's our first television show. It is where we're the host, we're featured. It is an absolute dream come true as a comedian to have your own show. You had a brilliant basketball career, and then you get your own show. What was that journey like for you? Was this always the plan to have your own program?
Not really. It started off as like, I'm bored, and someone introduced it to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I go. And then like, hosting is different than just answering media questions.
Right.
Like if you like Kevin Durant, what does the KD stand for? Like we're used to just like, okay, that was dumb, but I'm gonna play along. I'm gonna play along with you. So from that standpoint, I'm great. I'm great at interviewing. Hosting was a little awkward for me because it's like, where do I look? What do I say? It was different, but it came off good. It came off well. Like I'm more of a second host than the first host. Like all that introducing shit, I gotta practice.
Right.
I gotta practice it, but it's fun. It's really fun. I remember I was working out, and then like I see No Chill podcast or No Chill. They changed my name all the time. It was the No Chill Gil show. Then it became No Chill. I think it's No Chill and Gilbert Arenas. I can't keep up with shit. Right? So
I show up. I show up to work.
I just show up and do my thing, and I'll see you guys next week.
Y'all put whatever title you want on it as long as the check clears. We goody.
So that's just so when I see it on TV, I'm like, oh shit, I'm actually on like a TV network. That's cool.
I told my friend I was marrying a nurse, and they were like, whoa, you're marrying one of those sexy nurses, huh? One of those real sexy nurses? I was like, actually, I'm marrying a woman, not a Halloween costume. Yeah. Also, there's nothing sexy about being married to a nurse. There is nothing sexy about it. People think it's like being married to some sex kitten. Like my wife comes home, and I'm like, hey, babe, how's your day? And she's like, don't worry about me. Let me give you a sponge bath. It's not what it's like at all. It's not like that at all. It's more like being married to a war vet. She comes home, I'm like, hey, babe, how's your day? She's like, I don't want to talk about it. There was blood and Filipinos everywhere. Okay. So, whiskey waiting for you on the table, Colonel. Now, you're seeing a lot of ex-NBA players primarily become like podcasters, TV hosts. Obviously, what is it? All the Smoke, No Chill, all you guys. I remember hearing back in the day, back in the early Knicks days, somebody said that like, NBA players are really like this, but they can't really talk about it in the media. Seems like that switched. Like y'all could really be yourselves, especially after you retire. For those of us who actually watch your show and All the Smoke, how much do we really know? How much are y'all actually telling us about? You think we actually know like maybe 30% or are like we closer to 70%?
Of like the NBA life?
Yeah.
You're still in the 20%.
Damn!
Wow!
Damn!
You're still in Matt and Steven, they're probably in the 50 because they let you know they smoke. We smoked when we played, we did this. So you get those type of you get that type of truthness. But like stories, because the stories like involve other NBA players, you hold back on those. So we will reveal like dumb shit we've done. But like funny shit that has to do with other people, we gotta hold back because
that's out of respect.
You're like, yeah, no, he in the church now. We can't say what he did.
in church with 12th wife, you know what I mean? Yeah. Even though this happened on the second wife, we just can't talk about it, you know.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about, and you know, I know you're not the biggest soccer fan in the world, but an interesting thing has been happening, especially with NBA players. NBA players are buying MLS teams and getting involved in soccer, getting involved in ownership. Kevin Durant is a part owner of the Philadelphia Union in MLS. James Harden is a part owner of the Houston Dash and the Houston Dynamo out in Houston. What do you think of that? Just NBA players now just getting to the level where now they're becoming owners in a completely different sport, but in particular soccer. Have you heard anything about you know, any of your former colleagues talking about getting involved in other sports in this way?
No, I try to be an owner of the Washington Wizards.
Oh, okay.
I wanted a part of my contract, right? So instead of, you know, having my contract, I wanted stake into, like, you use this money to give me, but it wasn't allowed. It wasn't allowed. You can't play. That just wasn't allowed. I guess that's part of the ruling.
How did Jordan do it?
He did it. He had shares. He had to get rid of the shares to play to get more shares.
Gotcha.
You know, so you know that was one of those type of deals. So because it wasn't allowed, the brain didn't think about just try another sport. You can be, you know,
right.
What happened is you start seeing, because you know when you're in your sport, that's all you can see, your sport. So then we see like Usher is part of, you know, the Cavs, and this is like, damn, I wish I was Usher right now. Right? You know, so we thought about the ownership, we thought about it from that standpoint, but the cross bridging is new. It's that cross bridging. It was easier for the outside world to get inside sports to sports. It wasn't really. It's like I want to retire, then I want to come back to basketball as an owner, the Jordan way.
Right.
You know, I think there's an A-Rod or
yeah,
one of them have stake in something.
Yeah, A-Rod just is now what? Timberwolves.
See, yeah, but no, before him, the Golden Child.
Derek Jeter?
Yeah, Derek Jeter's the owner of something.
Marlins.
Yeah, like you're like, why not the New York Yankees? You know, but now it's just, you know, you're just following the lead. You see LeBron do it. You're like, oh shit, okay, LeBron's on something. Let me try this. So the new generation is moving the needle forward in the cross promoting from sport to sport with just big money.
It also seems like soccer and basketball is sort of starting to blend. I know Adam Silver talked about adding like an additional competition, which I don't know how much you know about soccer, but like, let's say in the US, we have something called the US Open Cup. So while the teams are playing in MLS, there's also another competition happening at the same time. So there's two chances to win like a trophy, as they call it, or a championship. You could play this other competition, which is more like a bracket style, like a World Cup or a March
Madness.
Yeah. So there'd be two competitions at the same time, and it also gives an opportunity for some of the other players who maybe don't always get a chance to start play. What would you think about that if that happened during your NBA career? If you had two competitions going at the same time, would you have cared, or would you have been like, "Yo, let the youngins play that. My eyes are on the NBA Finals only."
Hey, listen, that sounds amazing, right? So basically, I can take the best players from my team and we play this one sport, right? The playoffs.
Yeah.
And then you take the people we don't like actually want to pass the ball to, we can take them and put them into like the D-League bracket. Right. That's amazing. That is, hey, I understand it out. You know, most games are lost when you have to sub these in. We don't want them in the arena. Send them somewhere else. Like, I like that.
You're like, I got to sit next to this scrub? Why? You shouldn't even have a locker.
When Adam Silver was thinking about it. Yeah.
Coach.
So Gilbert Arenas has just named this new competition the Copa de Bums.
What's up? I'm Renee Montgomery. I just kicked it with the Cooligans after the Hawks kicked the Knicks out the playoffs, baby. Ooh, ooh.
Turn it up.
We have some fan questions. We have something called Gully Squad. Gully Squad is, yeah, especially people who keep it gully. You're definitely one
like
of those.
You, Gilbert?
like you. So we have Gully Squad. These are our supporters, and they give us questions, and we toss them to our guests. So the first one comes from Kurt. He has this question. He says, "Gil, you have to pick a 5-man team to play in an NBA game, but it has to include one soccer player. Who are you picking? And maybe if you know the 5 already or the other 4, tell us as well."
So one soccer player.
Yeah, and then 4 NBA players.
You're trying to think of the one soccer player you know.
Like David Beckham.
Yeah.
So I can look at his wife while I'm on the bench. I'm not part of my 5. And then from there.
Right.
Okay, well, I guess you're not going to be part owner of of Inter Miami now.
Yeah, so
You said you're going to look at his wife.
Ready to go LeBron, Kobe, Jordan, Shaq.
Okay.
LeBron, Kobe, Jordan,
Yeah.
Shaq, and David Beckham?
Yeah. Beckham, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Beckham is...
That's a horrible team.
That's a bad
That's
team.
a horrible team.
But I think we can all agree that's a great after party. That is a
Yeah,
great.
but look, I love Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron, so they had to be there. Then I was like,
Right.
with David Beckham, kind of small, give me Shaq.
yeah, I just want to see them stand next to each other, Shaq and David Beckham. That'd be great.
I said, this is from Andrew Johnson, and this is something I'm interested in. What was your post-game meal situation like? Because I've heard a couple things. I heard you only used to sleep like 3 hours a night. You used to play Halo till like 5, 6 in the morning. But after the game, did you usually go out to eat? And if you did, Andrew Johnson's question is, was it like a fast food drive-thru, or did you have like a pre-portioned nutritionist meal setup kind of thing?
Okay, that's Andrew?
Yeah.
Tell Andrew I was rich, okay? So when you're rich, you actually get to make rules and stuff. So after the game, I used to tell Morton's that they had to stay open.
Morton's Steakhouse?
Extra hour, 2 hours. So all the teams, so we could just come over there and have dinner, because most of the time we got our locker room, it's 9:30, 10. So they're closing. So on game day, they had to stay open till 11 and 12.
Amazing.
So we'll be the only ones in there.
What is? Yeah. I don't. This isn't part of the question, but now I'm interested. You mentioned steakhouse. What steak is your go-to, and what's your favorite side? This is a big. I work a lot with food. This is a big kitchen question right here.
My favorite steak?
Yeah. What do you usually? Are you like a skirt steak? Are you like a New York strip?
Filet New York strip.
Filet New York strip.
I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't know the difference. All right? cook the shit, bring the shit, I eat the shit. You know, so I'm one of those. I love cream of corn. I love cream of corn now. I love cream of corn.
Yes, you have the menu. Yeah, I will have the cook the shit and bring me the shit and the sweet corn. Thank you.
I'm with the bolas, right? I'm with the bolas, and it was like, oh, you need to do the wagyu. But I'm like, ooh, whatever that is, bring that shit. They bring it, you eat it. And I was like, this is just fat. Where's the meat? They gave me the fat. Hey, I ordered the steak. This is fat. I don't take this away. I didn't know that was how that meat tastes. That's the one I don't like.
Damn, okay. We got to go to Salt Bay's restaurant with Gilbert Arenas.
just remind Salt Bay, hey, I'm rich, right? Just make sure. Just make sure.
Yeah. Hey, run that steak.
Hey guys, it's Paul Areola, and I just went shirtless with the Cooligans.
Gil, thank you so much for joining us, man. We really, really appreciate it. Let's wrap up a couple pieces of business before we let you go. We got to get to our Galasso gift. This is your opportunity to celebrate a goal. Alexis will give you any kind of scenario. You will celebrate it. We will turn it into a gift that will live on the internet forever. So, Alexis, what do you suggest for Gilbert Arenas?
All right. So for some reason, you have been chosen for the Cuban national team, the national soccer team, right? And you get brought on, right? Last few minutes, you got to score 1 goal. If you do, you get made part owner of the Washington Wizards, retroed to your last contract. You score that goal. How do you celebrate?
Serious?
Yeah.
Is my first goal ever?
And you
First
now
goal.
become part owner of the Washington Wizards.
I'll faint. Has anyone fainted? Just all over the floor. Like, come on. That was a real thing.
Yeah,
like, you
dude.
just did something and it's just like, you just got...
No one's ever fainted before.
No, I know. What's wrong with these guys? That'd be the best thing ever. You just go limp, just boom. On the door.
Wake me up in the owner's box.
Yes. You just slip out. Just do it.
Amazing. Gilbert Arenas, thank you so much for joining us, man. We seriously appreciate it. And we're absolutely honored to be on the same network as you. And everybody, remember, you can watch No Chill with Gilbert Arenas every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on Fubo Sports Network, on this network right here. Gil, absolutely honored, man. Is there anything you want to let people know about before we let you go?
Hey, any single ladies out there, I'm taking.
Okay. I'm like, yeah.
Don't go in my DM. Don't go in my DM. I will not look for you. I'm a taken man. Yeah.
Really? yeah. You gotta let them know.
You gotta let them know you're taken.
All right.
Oh my
Gilbert
God.
Arenas, everybody follow Gilbert Arenas on Instagram at no.chill.
So definitely don't slide into his DMs with run that steak.
Hit the follow button.
Give me the meat. Don't do that.
All right, everybody. Make sure you follow at Fubo Sports on all social channels as well. Subscribe to the Fubo Sports YouTube channel for more clips, for more episodes of Gil Show as well. You can catch them on there. Follow us at Soccer Cooligans on all social channels as well. All right, Gil, let us end the show the way we normally do, as is tradition. So please join us in this as well. So for Gilbert Arenas, my name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we?
The
Cooligans!
There's always that one kid that's off it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still clapping when everyone else is done.